Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I'm Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas, joined by Yanni the Greek at Greek_Gambler and Ralph Michaels at Cal Sports LV. Today we're talking Kansas State, Oklahoma. K-State, a pretty sizable underdog at home, and this video is brought to you by GoPowerCat.com. Shout out to Tim and Riley and all my friends back there. They run the rival site for Kansas State. That's why we're doing this video. VR, I'll start with you. This is a lot of points. I kind of talked about this on the podcast this morning with Tim when we talked about this game. I'm super annoyed that this is not a nighttime game. I think that the TV stations have really gotten away from that. If this was a Manhattan nighttime game, I would be all over K-State plus the points. It's an 11 a.m. game. We need people to be able to tailgate longer, to be excited for this one.
I agree.
K-State fans have had this one circled as a loss, as they do every single year. And every once in a while, K-State surprises. This K-State defense looks good.
Good, they do. But
Jalen Hurts and that Oklahoma offense looks better.
And here's the thing with Oklahoma. I can tell you this for certainty, that move from the 20.5 up to 23, that was sharp action. The only thing I can't tell you is whether it's a legit move, because this early in the week, they're getting out ahead of all those big teams. And a lot of times what happens Saturday is we end up buying back the other team. And it's not a move where they're setting it up. It's simply a case of being able to middle based on the fact these powerhouses are going to get public money too. So if we lay minus 20.5 and 21 and books adjust to 23, now when public bettors come in, if they lay the 23 and 24 and it gets up to that 26 range, we come back Saturday and bet the other team and work a middle. I'm not saying this game in particular, but just throughout the season, you see that a lot. And like we were talking before we went on air, and this week I said, look, all the games we bet so far all look like top-ranked teams that were getting out ahead of the market. I can't even conclude if it's legit.
Ohio State, Oklahoma, LSU.
All those teams, exactly.
The three most popular offensive teams in the country.
And the totals dropped. I mean, that looks sharp to me. Here's the problem with taking K-State, as good as that defense has looked, is Oklahoma, they do have bigger games ahead. They got both Iowa State and Baylor, but they have a bye up next, I believe. So they have that week off. Otherwise, I'd be like, they may. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to overlook Kansas State at home, obviously, but that may have been something to look at, but I'm afraid to get in front of Oklahoma.
I like the under here.
That makes sense.
At least that's where I'm leaning, which sometimes betting the under means bet the underdog as well, not always. This is a K-State team that has showed some promise offensively, but I don't see that being an offensive game. Ralph Michaels, you got a whole list of stats over there. Tell me what you got.
They're playing better than I thought. This is a K-State team that at the start of the year had 60 freshmen on the roster. That's true and redshirt freshmen. That was number 8 in the country.
Yeah, and their win total is like 5.5.
Right?
You are taking a very, very young team. You know, Kleiman as the head coach takes over. There is no FBS coach with a better win percentage. He is 76-15. Yes, North Dakota State, and yes, Lewis Collier, a D3 team for a year, but you have a winning mentality. You have assistant coaches that have been with you. You set that winning mentality. You're now taking a bunch of young kids and you're giving them a winning mentality. Yes, they got outgained against Mississippi State. Yes, they got outgained in their last win, but they're still a team that learns how to win. Well, how do you win? You play good defense. They're number 2 in the country in third down conversions, allowing 23.9%. They're number 5 in pass yards, allowing 152 yards per game. They're number 6 in first downs allowed, only behind Wisconsin in first downs per game. Then what else do? You have good special teams. You have Blake Lynch, 88% field goal kicking. You have Devin Anstill, number 13 in the country with a 46-yard punting gross average. And then you have Oklahoma, who isn't playing at a fast pace. They're explosive, but they're still only averaging 64 plays per game. So they're not going up and running a play every 10 seconds. They let the clock go and they change the plays. And let's throw in a little T&A. Oklahoma, 0-8. As a Big Ten away favorite, as a double-digit Big Ten away favorite, their last 8. They don't cover those games.
Technically, they are the Big Ten, but they are the Big 12.
Big 12. Just for Power Cat, we should call it the Big 12.
Yeah,
so,
there is only 10 teams, though, so that's all in fairness.
So, I wish I was that smart to come back with you and say, well, there's 10 teams, so I called them that. Yeah, Oklahoma is 0-8 against the spread. Their last 8 games is a double-digit conference favorite.
Are you going to get to the window on K-State?
No.
VR, at what number do you think the wise guys would come back and on K-State if that really was a real move?
Above 24.5.
Okay.
There'll be some guys that buy into that because you got the ones that got in at 20.5. Otherwise, they'll wait till over that 25, 26 mark.
The Oklahoma line's not coming down. The public's not.
No, it's just going to keep moving up.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait till game time if you want to back the Wildcats. WagerTalk TV users get $25 in wager bucks added to their account after their first purchase at either WagerTalk.com or SportsMemo.com.